All right, you know what? I'll just start it out and let Henigan settle a debate from two of his peers from Smart Fuck Academy.
Oh, yeah. Go
on KVOA, the local morning news that I tape because it comes on at 6 a.m. I'm not always up at 6 a.m. So I tape the morning news with John Overall, Nicole Semery, Melanie Hunter with the traffic, and Jeff Beamish with the weather, and sports with Paul Seekala. And that's how he's the one I'm sure I've mentioned before. He has that fucking run on. It's the whole newscast is complete anchor man. And the sports guy, his sign off is have a powerful, positive and productive day filled with lots of joy. But his name is Paul Seekala, but he pronounces it wrong. And it's like Chaille. He pronounces his own name Chaille, but it's Chaille. It's spelled CH. Paul Seekala says it as though he's correcting you when you said it wrong. No, it's Seekala. He emphasizes the first syllable. So I tweeted at him today, hey, you're pronouncing your name wrong, because I'm a friend. I'm a fan of the show. Watch it every day. Jeff Beamish. I make awkward homosexual tweets at him here and again. He doesn't respond anymore. And I said, hey, you're pronouncing your name wrong. You're putting the accent on the first syllable and instead of the second syllable, and you're making it sound silly. And someone said, it's not an accent, it's stressing. And anyway, two guys like you got into an argument whether... Is that right to say you're accenting the first, putting the accent on the first syllable? No, he's putting the stress. And then two guys from Smart Fuck Academy, like Brian Hennigan here, got into some battle about proper English.
Grammar.
Well, I don't think it's grammar.
Would it be grammar?
No, it'd just be pronunciation.
Phonetics?
Whatever.
I mean, at this distance, with more knowledge than what you've just given me, I would have to go with it's stress or emphasis.
All right. Well, they had I didn't. This is not how the podcast is supposed to start. Can you just shut that to fuck the dog?
Doug,
now?
you did say my name I pronounce incorrectly.
Yeah.
It's spelled Chaille, and I say Chaille.
Yeah. Or it's Chaille.
And you say it's Chaille.
Yeah, CH.
And where's Junior Stopka out of?
Chicago.
Okay. Just one check.
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
Where Chair is from.
I also think
Sonny and Chair.
Yeah. No, I got you.
Just before we started, you were talking about.
Hang on, let me get back to it. It's not fucking. Hi, this is Paul Seekala with sports. You don't say a fucking name like that. Fuck you, Paul Seekala.
Can't he say his name any way he wants to?
No, we can't.
No.
Okay.
No, you can't just pick things like that.
Yeah.
Well, but like origin has a big part in it, doesn't it? And how he grew up saying his name?
Yeah, it was constantly corrected.
Yeah, unless his middle name is Christopher and his last name is Kala, he shouldn't be pronouncing it like that.
Well, it's like if you called him Paul Bacala and you know it's Seekala.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Bicala. No, it's Seekala. Okay, now go back to correct with Sekala. All right, thank you. I fucking won another argument. All right, Brian Hennigan's here. Ggreg Chaille's here. We were fucking so close to getting the Derek and Bree on People's Court, but he had Wii Golf tonight. They go over to neighbor Dave's and play the Wii Golf with Floyd. Kenny bailed out just in case action started over here, but it never did. So we're going to have to do that after Vegas. In the meantime, we have a fan. Oh, there you go with the fucking thing.
What?
That. It's coming through that.
I don't know. I was trying to play the People's Court. God damn it. All right.
We don't have to play the People's Court because it's not happening.
It goes back to the last podcast.
Chad Shank was ready to jump out of bed and fucking drive 45 minutes to get here in time for People's Court. But we'll make it happen afterwards. But this place just got loaded with bugs. It was fine, and now you can't wait to get out of this fucking place during monsoons. I live in the desert because shit is dead. That's what I like about it. So during July and August, the rains come, and then everything gets green, and everyone applauds, and then it's just masses of fucking gnats and mosquitoes and flies, and I fucking hate them. And as soon as the first freeze comes, and I just watch dead flies, I don't even clean them out of my where the window
Underpants?
is. Window.
You leave them.
yeah.
You leave them there as a warning to other
Exactly.
insects.
Like Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
Heads on stakes.
I do the same thing with unanswered emails.
Very effective.
All right, the big news right out of the gate today.
Boom.
And Friday, when you're listening to this. The announcement that the new special, Doug Stanhope's No Place Like Home, is going to premiere on Seeso. Explain Seeso to the people, Brian Hennigan.
When?
September 15th.
September 15th. Yeah. So
Which is coincidentally Mother's birthday. How about that?
Yeah.
How about that for nice?
So Seeso is a streaming platform basically like Netflix that was started up by NBC Universal because they thought, why should we be giving away or selling our content to other people when we could perfectly well do this ourselves, particularly now that we're owned by, I think, Comcast, and they have huge, deep pockets.
Yeah, I guess there's a few pigs fighting for the tits in this whole streaming business.
Yeah.
And Seeso came up strong because
Yeah.
I can't name a lot of names. I'll just drop their names later. Actually, Big J Okerson, is already out on Seeso. And John Doerr, and a guy I just talked to that's a good friend of mine. But the paperwork's not done, so we can't announce it. I'll just ease his name
Everyone
in
is
later.
raving about the Dan Harmon show.
Harmon Quest. I'm already. It took only one evening to get through the entire season. It's fucking amazing, and that was worth the subscription right there.
They also have Monty Python, apparently.
Yeah, Monty Python 4
Wait,
seasons.
now he has a series?
Yeah,
because
called
I saw
Harmon
his
Quest.
documentary where
Harmontown.
Yeah.
and we like that.
Yeah.
and I realized who he was from that documentary, Harmontown. Well, Tracy, what's the dungeon master, dragon master? What did Spencer is there? The Dungeons and Dragons guy that was like another little storyline through that documentary.
Hey, Kenny, will you just dim the lights, kill the upper lights, and dim the bar lights, because it's got that feeling. This podcast, Tracy is whittling yarn
opposite.
or whatever.
There you go.
But
Dim 'em a little
dim
bit.
those a little bit. No, the bar lights. The bar lights.
He grabbed the bottle opener that's affixed to the wall.
Well, that was one
There
way.
was a trending topic on Twitter tonight as we're waiting for Brian to get in his pints enough to talk on the podcast, and it was the worst pain ever in 3 words was the hashtag. So we're killing time and Kenny's just sitting there trying to figure out what was his first one.
4 words.
Yeah, whatever it was.
It was something about it must be broken or something.
I think it's broken.
Yeah. Anyway, so he's been sitting there just in a daze trying to think of 3 words that are 3 words and not 4 or 2.
Do you have another one? Have you come up with one yet?
All right, you have till the end of the podcast.
Harmon Quest is basically Spencer, the Dungeons and Dragons guy that's in Harmontown. He's a total fixture now, and they're playing Dungeons and Dragons with 3 like recurring characters: Dan Harmon, the gal, which we found out is his live-in wife or something, and then Jeff Davis. I think that's his sidekick, and then they bring in a celebrity or someone notable, and they go through it, and it's animated for parts of it, and it's fucking hilarious.
So it's like comics with coffee
Yes,
and cars, but with Dungeons and Dragons and cartoons.
And they have either played it or they haven't, and it's just like a really Harmon described it as it's a really weak improv open mic. Which I
Listen,
just sold it to you.
I love that guy from
Yeah.
Harmontown. And he does a traveling podcast, which we've talked about, and we'll only do it if Chad Shank's involved.
Yeah. But this is good, and I love it. I mean, Tracy and I got through it in one night, or actually over 2 days. We got through the entire.
How do people get Seeso?
Google
Yeah, you just fucking
Seeso.com.
Google it. Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
I look to Brian because he's the guy with the facts.
Yeah. Did you ever play Dungeons and Dragons?
No,
Did you?
No.
we played Risk.
I did.
Risk was good.
I don't-
And then once I forgot how to play it, I remembered how much of a pain in the ass it is to learn to play it. And then who has fucking
What's
9 hours?
Risk?
I couldn't play Risk because thinking about playing Risk got me so excited I couldn't play it.
No, it's you like not being able to watch Man U
Yeah, it
play
was
the
like
game.
it's like not being able to watch soccer. It gets me too excited.
Is Risk the one World Domination?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Never
I
played
used to
it.
get too excited
You
by
can't-
that.
yeah, you wonder why Hennigan might have a problem playing that?
I think we actually used the pieces from Risk when we ran out of sorry pieces.
Oh,
Anyone for a game of Candyland?
Let's gas all the Urkuks.
there was another game called Apocalypse that involved nuclear weapons.
Apocalypse then.
No, it was just called Apocalypse and involved nuclear weapons. I like that one too. You
You didn't have a lot of friends growing up, did
No,
you?
I obviously had to have friends to play the game against.
Live friends.
Yeah.
You meant.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of them are pedophiles.
We have that arm wrestling game that Kenny plays by himself where you have to compete against each other. And Kenny will just hit both buttons and arm wrestle against himself.
One way to guarantee you're a winner.
Well, it's really hard to actually play by yourself. It's designed to play with two people. You have to go.
Yeah,
180
lefty's going to
yeah.
lose.
Lefty's gonna
unless
lose,
you're a
yeah.
lefty. So my point being is Hennigan could have played world domination against himself, all by himself, in those short pants that you picture, knickers, I guess they call them.
Or Jodspers.
John Purse.
You picture Brian Hennigan as a little boy, and it's the same little boy from Pink Floyd The Wall. Mummy, when's Daddy coming home? He's no.
That was brilliant. He's not. Yeah, it's funny. I just thought because I was going to say, obviously playing Dungeons and Dragons, I quickly
Oh,
became.
you played a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, had no idea.
I remember getting I remember having the first Dungeon Master book by Guy Jacks. Never knew how to pronounce it. Flown over, and I think I was the second or third person in the UK to get it. I was so excited.
Wow.
Yeah, and I gave it up immediately. I mean, obviously,
Yeah, you reached
I don't
the
play.
top.
Yeah, I don't.
It's like my career. You get bored with things quick, and
You
you know.
move on.
Yeah. But I still reprise the term Dungeon Master every time I book a tour for you guys.
That's an inside joke about our accommodations.
That's his fake hotel name.
We're trying to like this. We should be more celebratory.
Oh, we
in that,
are.
Hey, the special. We're announcing.
But
the
that's how we
special.
do things. We do this all the time.
The fucking
We're
special.
we're shit at celebrating things.
I don't even know which one
Yeah,
it is.
but no, here's the thing: is we couldn't announce this forever. The
Ever.
same reason I can't announce who else is going to be on Seeso. Get Seeso.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we filmed this fucking thing in November. You have to understand, I developed this special over like 18 months to where it got to the point we filmed it, and that was last November. And then you start getting into finger fucking with every lawyer and agent and shit, and who's got a bidding and. All right, this is coming out in September. That's like almost a fucking year.
Well,
And that was with us putting a lot of effort into it.
Yeah.
more than you used to.
The point is, it fucking holds up.
Oh, yeah.
I sat going through the bits in my head today, going like how none of it's irrelevant.
Well, when you do a production like that, a DVD, it is basically that is a snapshot, and then the longer it sits, it could potentially be irrelevant.
There is a Duggar's Daughter reference as a joke bit.
Yeah, and I mean,
That, you know what? It's not like there's been a lot of reality show incest molestation cases since then. So
This
the
one
reference
stands
holds
out.
up.
This
yeah.
one stands
Yeah,
out.
it's
And now you got a little a tip
Yeah.
That, just a Google Duggars and you'll be right up to speed.
Yeah, the Gluggers were the Mary John Bonet of.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and I obviously edited it fairly recently in terms of like
Hold on, didn't you?
because you
Henigan did all the fuck. He's the director,
Did you
producer.
get director credit on this?
Oh yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good for you.
Chaille got director credit on the
come
audiobook.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got
Also-
two directors here,
also
so there's going to be a pissing match.
Just-
I can smell it.
Chaille and Tracy got credit on the thing that's coming out, No Place Like Home. I made up some titles. I can't remember what they were.
Well, thanks for putting it out like that.
well, I can't remember. You know what I mean? It was
I'm looking over,
appropriate.
Mr. Chaille, I'm looking over your bogus credits here. It's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
Well, you know what I mean. I was sitting there and I knew you'd.
Speculum disinfectant,
Yeah, you know.
Tell me a little bit about that job.
or is it disinfector? I'll go to Twitter to find out.
Chief lingerer. Yeah, and so I obviously, but getting down to the fine tuning of the edit where you're really, micro tuning it. I watched it repeatedly, and it's like, yeah, this is completely holds up.
Yeah,
There wasn't a single bit I thought, oh,
Or you got to pull it.
Yeah,
Or this
yeah.
we could do it without. No, that's good.
that's because
all my Al Gore references are still fresh.
yeah,
I don't even know what's.
your joke about cell phones. Oh my god, it's so good.
You mean mobiles?
Yeah,
These people with the mobile phones, they think they're so cool. That's how long I've been doing comedy. That was a fresh hack premise when I started. Yeah, people come into the titty bar with their mobile phone and think they're all fucking cool. I wanted to find every comic from the 80s and just start slapping cell phones out of their hands and playing their A&E's Evening at the Improv bit back to them. Remember that? No. No mobile phone. Anyway.
so it's coming out September 15th.
Yeah, Mother's birthday.
We don't know yet.
What a drag this podcast is.
We don't know as yet where it's coming out in the rest of the world. It could be Amazon. It could be Netflix.
Yeah, they fucking know how to steal stuff over there.
Yeah.
They don't wait for
Oh, wait.
an
Seeso
appropriate...
is only North America?
Correct.
Okay. So then you've got international sales,
Yep.
which is going to be handled with another deal.
Yeah.
All right.
So North America includes Mexico.
And Canada.
So people could illegally immigrate into Mexico and get my special.
Yes.
Kind of like the Iceland prison show where you had to get arrested to see the show.
Yeah.
Now people can illegally immigrate into Mexico. White Europeans
But also bear in mind,
sneaking across the border late at night.
which is way less bad than what was required for you for the Iceland show, because bear in mind it was maximum security. You had to do something really bad to get into the Iceland show,
Right.
as opposed to just wanting a tan.
Well, yeah, no, if you go to Iceland and you smuggle drugs or kill a guy, you get a college education.
Yeah.
Their maximum security prison is that fucking brilliant, where everyone was taking online courses, hanging out. They were playing fucking Wii golf. They were playing some kind of game
soccer.
like that.
It was soccer. It was the FIFA Pro, and both Doug and I thought it was a real game. we were watching it, thinking, "This is who's playing it this time of day?" And of course, it was them playing a game. Yeah.
Kenny would go to prison in fucking Iceland and go, "Oh man, I can't believe I slummed it with those kids for so long. This is so great. I can't believe I could have just killed a guy in Iceland and I'd be living fucking high on the hog."
You were able to hang out with prisoners and in their cell and stuff, weren't you?
Yeah, you couldn't smoke in the common area. So they'd go, "Oh, well, you can smoke in my cell." And I'd go hang out.
You could smoke in the cells, but not in the...
They're fucking dorms,
Yeah.
basically.
The guy that showed us round at the end said we were at the gate, and he took us to the gate, and we said, "Do you want to lift back into Reykjavik?" And he went, "No, I'm one of the inmates." we thought he was a social worker or something.
Yeah. Fucking blow this sweet gig? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
There's guys dying to get in here.
And in the kitchen, they have a communal kitchen. They had real fucking knives, and again, this is the only safety precaution, which were attached to the table by steel wire.
Yeah, like a bank pen.
So you could stab someone to death. You just had to do it in the kitchen.
Yeah, he had to trust you to get within arm's length.
Yeah, you have to be a foot away.
Yeah. And we met the guy.
Hey, get closer to the green onion. Does that smell fresh? Closer still.
And we met the guy who was Iceland's most notorious criminal, who basically had killed 2 people as part of a fucked up drug deal.
Yeah,
and that was
accidentally.
he was the most notorious killer in Iceland.
Yeah, it was an accident.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a drug smuggling, but like a balloon burst
Yeah.
or some weird
It basically
thing.
becomes some sort of Fargo situation,
Yeah.
and he killed 2 people.
Oh no, it was a bus drove and hit him, but I was there and
Well, then he tried to like hide the bodies
during the
or something.
commission of a crime. Yeah.
Some silliness like that.
Yeah.
Would you go back to Iceland?
I was just gonna say we should take you the Trailies to.
Well, that's where we made the decision, coming full circle, to tape the special "No Place Like Home." After the last night of the gig
In Iceland.
in Iceland, we're sitting in the hotel room, and Doug was like, "Let's just do it in fucking Bisbee."
Well, we wanted Minneapolis was the only major market we didn't do on that tour.
On purpose.
Kind of. Eventually, it became
the
off
only venue
purpose.
that I really wanted to play was fucked. So then, all right, then I'd have to fly to Minneapolis and like location scout, and it just became this mental fucking quagmire. And then I was like, fuck it, let's just film it in Bisbee.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah. You know, when you
And
were
it worked out.
when you were in Iceland, you were doing European dates and you were ending up in Iceland. Trace and I actually looked for dates. We're going to go there. And the flight to Iceland from the East Coast was relatively inexpensive.
Yep.
I couldn't believe it. It was getting to Boston and then Boston to LaGuardia. That was more than everything
Iceland
else.
Air only flies out of I don't know a
Boston
handful of
and-
cities.
yeah.
DC.
yeah. So getting
East Coast and
getting to
Minneapolis.
where we needed to get the flight was way more than it was going to be to fly round trip to Iceland and back.
Well, yeah, Iceland Air evidently has the thing where you can fly. If you're flying to like London from the East Coast, they'll give you 7 days. You can stop in Reykjavik,
Like a layover.
and hang out for no extra charge, and then go
that's
on
cool.
to Europe.
I do wish to point out there was only one major casualty of that whole thing, which was I had set up to have a 10-day holiday vacation in seclusion at one of the most remote places I could possibly find
On Earth.
On Earth, which is East Iceland, on this farm, and in a little cottage on the farm. And that was perfect for what I wanted to do, which was basically nothing and some writing. It wasn't ideal for suddenly trying to organize a gig in Bisbee. I was like,
The second most remotest place on the earth.
I was up at like till 3 a.m. every day, shouting at people as I do about deals and things, and
in a remote farmhouse.
exactly,
Yeah. Wait, who had the remote farmhouse? Bisbee or Iceland?
That's where we filmed it, in a remote farmhouse in Bisbee.
And that was our first actual attempt at anything at the Royale under the new ownership, right?
yeah.
No, we did.
no,
we
The
did,
new ownership.
New ownership.
New ownership.
I
Oh,
quantified it.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
Anyway,
now
that worked
through
out all-
KBRP. Give them a plug.
yeah.
KBRP
KBRP.
Radio. That's right. So that will finally be coming out.
Yep. And
That's why it's not like a celebratory time. It's like, Jesus, put
Yeah.
the fucking special.
And
up.
again, before anyone asks, I'm sure it's going to follow exactly the same thing as before. It'll come out on Seeso. Only be available on Seeso, apart from bootlegs, for 3 or 4 months or something, and then they'll be
And then we'll-
exclusive.
then we'll have hard copies we can sign and
so-
whore at booths.
What? We can sell things in merch?
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry, Chaille. You're employed for another year.
Right on.
Yes, so that's good.
CDs and DVDs, it's really weird. It's like there's a resurgence online sometimes where they'll start buying like we just reissued Something to Take the Edge Off as a vinyl, and of course that does it. But all of a sudden, people start buying some of the older ones, like the not the what's the pack we have, like From Across the Street. Like we're sold out right now. We're still trying to get some more of those.
Oh, we still got to get no refunds. which-
No refunds were totally sold out. I haven't had that for
That's
almost
all
a
right.
year.
Both Brian and I have been on major benders lately, so yeah.
No.
Hey, Business might be slow.
But it is interesting that there in this world of like digital media where you can just totally download it, people do still sometimes. I can't
sure.
I can't guess the market. I'll tell you that right now.
But just to go into that a little bit, that's because the whole purpose of merch and things like that is that they're cultural artifacts, and people are actually just trying to buy some connection.
That's why people buy vinyl.
Exactly. If you view them as cultural artifacts as opposed to something of practical use.
Or a good example of that is the book.
Yeah.
I mean, we're buying the book and
Yeah.
we're having to buy it from. I mean, I appreciate you giving me the connection to the publisher, but it's just way easier. I don't have to hold a lot of stock. And I do have to say that is one of the only things we're bringing to Vegas on the 28th. Is I'm bringing Digging Up Mother for you to sign at the merch booth, and that's about it. Bringing a couple of shirts.
Hey, listen, that's your fucking problem.
Well, I'm just saying we're not bringing a whole complete like merch layout like we did on tour.
I think that's Chaille's way of explaining why the people in the back row are going to be crammed in by books.
Oh, in the van.
In the
Yeah.
van.
Put your feet up.
Speaking of cultural artifacts.
Yep.
eBay yard sale. We're gonna have to pull the trigger on that because poor fucking Kelly and Brad have had that shit over at their house.
But you were going to do something different, I thought.
We've talked about should we just sell one item per podcast, but that would be, I think there's 140 items. We're gonna have to do another yard sale, and then maybe after that we can do one weird thing per podcast. But yeah, probably September we'll do that.
Can I float an idea by you?
Yeah.
What if we let Kelly and Brad do what they planned on doing, and we cherry pick a few like notable items, and then we offer them up on a shorter auction.
All right, this is not
Weekly.
a time for brainstorming.
But I'm just
right?
saying, as weekly as we go through a podcast, we can just do it as the podcast auction.
Yeah. Well, it's not like I don't have more shit since
Oh,
then.
that's
We
true.
loaded them up with all that stuff where we're going to do this in June or something or May.
So that's just sitting in
And
their
I go,
house.
yeah. Well, then we had to, you don't want to fucking dump a bunch of shit on people all at once. Hey, buy my book, get Seeso, get the audio version of my book.
We have vinyl.
We have vinyl. We have new T-shirts. Come to these dates. Listen, just give me all of your fucking money. Just give me every penny you have now. Just make me give me your inheritance. What? Oh, Kenny's like, ooh, wow. He's watching baseball over.
That's 2 words.
I've had that happen where where you think a chick is fucking
right.
looking back at you and you realize she's watching the TV behind your head at the bar and you're making eyes at her. Kenny just did that to me, like, ooh, wow. Like I just said
Like you made
something
some point,
profound
yeah.
and it made me back up. And
Oh, what's that?
it's Kenny.
Kenny again.
Kenny's getting texted from Derek. So the eBay yard sale. Fuck, this was today's news. This pisses me off a lot. And
Whoa.
Truman Capote's ashes are going on sale at auction house.
Sotheby's?
It's not Christie's. It's something with a J, I think. But anyway, we tried to do this with mother's ashes on eBay. And it got shut down immediately when it was going to be for the Humane Society.
But isn't that because of federal regulations about the transport of things across borders?
It was. It said it's against the law. Well, this is not against the law, and the Washington Post says that unless like Native American, for some reason, you can't sell Native American human remains. But otherwise, yeah. So I found that old email from when eBay shut us down, and it says it's against the law.
eBay policy, probably.
What's against eBay policy for sure,
So
which is that's fine. But
no shirt, no shoes, no service. They can
Right.
make up their own. Yeah.
yes, it's the whites only.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Getting to making a different argument altogether. But yeah, no smoking.
Okay, but
Point is, how could I auction off mother's ashes without going through Christie's? Because Christie's ain't gonna fuck with Doug Stanhope.
wait a minute though. I mean, are there any left? Haven't you snorted them all?
We never brought that up,
Oh,
sir.
sorry.
Apparently, I will be editing this one.
Well, you can just edit out the snorted. Haven't you?
We'll just call that a tease. One day you'll hear that story, but not until a lot of people die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would guess that it could well be an explanation, like when the ashes or any aspect of a person is famous, they become more than just ashes, and therefore that's what you're selling. I don't know, and
So
whatever
it's
that
some sort of
more-
collectible or
listen,
memorabilia?
I'm throwing this out to the fucking people that are going to sit around and do due diligence to figure out exactly what the law is. eBay, yeah, I understand. Yes, no smoking in your bar. I get it. But how do we auction them off?
Like, isn't there some auction site that is willing to take on something like that?
Yeah, that's not a Sotheby's
Yeah.
or a Christie's.
Well, I don't see how you couldn't do it just by the auction facility that's available on brown paper tickets. There's only one ticket for sale, and they have an auction ability, and there's only one winning ticket.
All right, well, now write it down.
I don't need to. I'll hear that.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I don't need to write it down. Hey, Brian, what we were talking about last night? You were going to talk about your fucking recent stuff.
I've got it here.
I don't know. I was drinking.
I wrote it down, though, and I looked at it this morning with a new sense of discovery. I'll write it down, though, just to keep you
Yeah,
happy.
keep it.
Yeah.
I always thought that I had a buddy in high school whose dad passed away, and the stepmom held the ashes, and there was no will, and he definitely had a will. And my best friend in high school, it was right after high school this happened, and he was like, I mean, he's not a kid. I mean, he's 19 years old, saying, look, I want some of the ashes because me and my father used to surf in this one like secluded space for years. They would go up there, they'd hike in, and they'd surf for the weekend. He goes, I just want, some ashes. And at one point, she like just left a baggie, like a Ziploc bag of ashes, like stuffed in the doorknob that, like stuffed at the door somewhere. And that was fucking like, what the fuck? It's a human, right? Turns out the law sees a baggie, a Ziploc bag full of ashes left at a front door, like someone leaving an arm at the front door in California. And yeah, that was highly illegal what she had done, and like separating things. But I just found out with my mom,
Such dog shit.
if they don't know you're doing it, it just gets done as long as no one cares about it.
Yes.
The auction thing it is interesting because you're not only going to do it like have an auction to sell remains, but like Brian brought up, across state lines possibly, which that causes all sorts of problems.
Weird shit. First of all, we'd have to find a charity. And you know my stance on charities. You're just paying mostly for fucking pamphlets. So we'd have to find, like Rebecca Vitzman, the atheist girl, a specific person that's going to get the money.
Like a dedicated one, like
Well,
one payout,
like a cat shelter.
Well, one that
Perfect for
some
mother.
crazy lady that's actually
Oh, I see.
not Humane Society that has to do a lot of advertising where, 3% of the actual money goes to the.
Some hoarder who's been thrown out of our house who has a lot of cats.
Have you seen Poverty Inc.?
No.
It's a documentary I tried to watch today, but it was just too much information, and I was all depressed and hungover, and I don't want to learn shit. I already did the bit. Whoever and we're backed up in thank yous. I have a stack of thank yous of people who sent me shit, but someone sent me 2 different now books about overpopulation. I don't need to know anymore about that. Every fucking special I put out has a bit about overpopulation on some level. And you're sending me books. Oh, he's interested in this. It's like,
Wait, you got them interested in it, and then they're sending you the book.
Yeah. It's like saying, I want to watch the space shuttle take off. I'm not really interested in physics.
I don't know.
I don't get that.
No, I don't get that
I
at
just
all.
laughed.
Well,
I'm saying I don't need to read up on things that I've obviously read up on. I appreciate it, and I pass that on to people who need to fucking know. But I don't know where the fuck I was.
okay. So
I know everyone else
thank
is
yous.
already
Thank
tuned out,
yous.
and they're bidding on Truman Capote's ashes.
Right, I just read up on that. Do you know where they're coming from?
What?
Johnny Carson's wife's estate.
Yeah,
Johnny Carson's wife had them.
yeah. He
Which
died in
means
their
Johnny.
house.
What?
He died in their house.
Really?
Yeah, and he thought, he wanted them to have the ashes because he was all into shock stuff and
Johnny Carson was?
no,
Truman Capote.
Cody. Okay. Gotcha.
died at fucking 59 of liver failure.
That's a hard worker.
I know.
Hey,
I
Chaille.
I drifted out of the story when I read it and going, wait, all right. Well, he
Wait, how
used a
old am
lot
I?
of drugs. I don't use a lot of drugs. I use some drugs.
Chaille, come on.
I don't drink a lot of water, though. And I'm just doing math. And then Henigan walks in. What are you working on? Just dumping some emails, getting through some emails.
That's what he said. Yeah. Anyway, Chaille.
I'm doing math in my head about how much longer I have. Wow, how many
59.
summers do I have left? I didn't do anything this summer. I should have gone to New England. I should have gone fishing for largemouth bass at Cook's Pond.
Or just
how many summers
Drive
do
through
I
the
have
colors. You always
Left? But
like
the
you always talk about
mosquitoes
it.
in the summer are fucking awful. Why would I go to a place with mosquitoes? What are you working on? Just, some business.
Well, I was just going to say you got all despondent there. It's a glass half full situation. It's like 9 more years, Chaille. Come on.
It's 9 more years. I'm getting my hernia checked on Thursday. Why bother? I've lived with it for 2 years.
Oh, that's the Uncle
What's
Bill.
That's
the
another
Uncle Bill.
9 years.
Yeah, but maybe if you don't get it checked, it'll only be 4 years.
I'm saying this is what I was working on when you said, "What are you working on?"
You fucked him up on the math.
I have a really hot surgeon. I don't have insurance. I'm paying cash because she's a really hot surgeon. Should I manscape? How much should I manscape? No. Jen Luria, hey, that's. Oh, yeah, sorry. You don't have a fucking Android. You don't know how to turn off the goddamn ringer. Oh, no, that's Shady Jen. That was, goddamn it, that was the fucking
That's the
Shady,
one-
Shady Dell.
Why don't you call her right now?
Yeah, no, Shady Jen, that's how I had her in my phone before she dumped Jason. So now she's in my phone as Shadier Jen, and he's Shady Jen because he got to keep the phone number in the divorce. Oh, my God.
Why don't we take a break?
Worst secretary ever.
Let's take a break. You can make that phone call and then. Actually, let's take a break and we'll be back.
All right. That's right. Digging Up Mother is on audible.com. Audible.com for all your audiobook needs. If you spend any time whatsoever in traffic, get audiobooks. They will change the world for you. And if you've listened to Digging Up Mother with myself and Chad Shank doing the reading, and you want to give me shit about how much I suck worse than Chad Shank, do that, but make sure you include @audible.com in the tweet so Audible knows that you want more Chad Shank reading books. Because I think he's launching a new career. So when you give me shit and congratulate Chad Shank in a tweet, make sure you add @audible.com.
I would appreciate that. I've been reading all of the reviews on Audible. So a couple of people have been very nice to me, so thanks to people that, 'cause, maybe I'll read more books.
Yeah, that's our commercial, audible.com. And they have other shit, too. They probably have other books that they have out, or is it just my book?
Just yours?
Just mine.
Flagship book.
audible.com for all your audiobook needs. Hennigan doesn't even know what that music is.
I don't.
Yet he was.
He just became an American citizen, and he doesn't know what the People's Court is.
No.
What questions are they asking you on that test?
What are the original founding states?
Bollocks.
Hey, we have a special guest appearance. Bingo Bing Bong Ding Dong Dingaman is here.
I'm opening some fan mail.
Don't chew on the mic.
right.
You're doing the two things.
I thought you were talking to me because I am also.
Yeah, no, I'm
both
backing
chewing.
off the mic to finish
I'm done with the
sucking
peanuts.
hummus and pita chips out of my teeth.
I have the. Oh, here this. I
Who
gotta.
is
Let
this
me grab the
fucking
letter.
from?
Hold on.
Yeah, someone read the letter. This is gross. Yeah, this present is gross.
This is from Eva Ray, W-R-A-Y.
Okay.
And she says, well, it's 3 pages. I'm not going to read it. Those are worms,
They're fucking.
She sent you worms in the mail.
and you
It's
shouldn't.
disgusting.
You shouldn't open it because it's formaldehyde, and she does say it's a carcinogen.
What am I supposed to do with them, though?
Well, eat them, obviously.
Oh my god.
They're a
horrible.
mixer for tequila.
Yeah.
That's
If you want to get
horrible.
some low rent tequila
Where do you
that
think-
doesn't have
Thanks,
a worm in the
who?
bottom.
Who's this from?
Eva Ray.
Eva Ray. Thank you for the worms.
Where do you think pate comes from?
Oh god. Okay, what else do we got?
Crinkling bags. Andy Andrews just tuned out.
But she did give you 2 things of worms.
I know.
What
I
mouth
got 2
sounds are to
worms.
me, crinkling bags are to Andy.
I wonder. This is gonna be gross. Too.
Eva, I did get your request. Thanks for sending the postage return for the signed book. I appreciate that.
Yeah, a couple people sent shit. Hey, if you sent me some stuff that I was supposed to sign and send back, I don't get around to things. But it's in the works. I got it to Chaille, so he'll eventually remember to tell me.
Yeah, and if you're sending something, you need return
Hey, while
postage.
you're doing all this dead air, how about I do
Sorry,
a
baby.
quick plug?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Nick DiPaolo is a great comedian.
Magnificent
You know what?
comedian.
One of my favorites. Nick DiPaolo, I get a lot of emails. I don't always agree with what you say, but you're funny. And that's how I feel about a lot of those New York guys. They're like aggro kind of Republican, fuck them, kill them all, in jail kind of.
They don't sit on the fence.
No. But fucking Nick DiPaolo is a legend. And I hope to see him on some commercial-free
Streaming
streaming
platform.
platform soon.
But what ones could those be, Doug?
I you know what? There's a few in the mix. The strong one seems to be Seeso.
Oh, Seeso.
Yeah,
I've heard of them.
I hope to see his new special on that soon because he is a fucking monster.
I think Nick DiPaolo and Seeso would be an excellent fit.
I'm thinking of jokes of his, old bits of his, where I go, I completely disagree, and I'm laughing my balls off, and I'll repeat it to people at the bar. You know what? Fucking animal testing. I can't do it, Nick DiPaolo. Animal testing. And I'll destroy this fucking bit. I'll ruin it so badly. You know what I say? If hooking up a pair of jumper cables to a monkey's brain cures AIDS, I have 2 things to say. Red is positive, black is negative. Completely against it, but fucking funny as shit.
That is funny.
And kind of arguable. So hopefully we see Nick DiPaolo. This has been a commercial spot for Nick DiPaolo. Bingo, are you done fucking unwrapping things?
I didn't wrap it. I'm unwrapping it.
Oh my god.
These are like. These are.
my
leeches.
morning rage.
I think there's leeches in here.
Some of them are a fluke. I think that one's a
Albino
fluke.
leeches.
No, Bingo. Those are lychees. You should eat them.
Oh God.
They're
Very
sweet.
funny.
Cheese.
They're sweet but salty.
Yeah.
She did include also in the package, because you just handed me a box full of stuff, and you said this is from some people.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, so I'm going through it. She did send a rather extensive history of what these parasites are.
This is what
I'll
a
have to read
dick
'em.
I can be in the morning. Is when I get the mail and people have just sent stuff because they're
Oh,
nice.
it's fucking
but if they
disgusting.
overtape it, I'm just throwing this fucking thing away. How do I? What do I have to saw through this fucking thing to open it that you sent me out of the goodness of your
this
heart?
is the worst. This is like the
These
heat
are
gunned plastic
leeches.
on it.
All right. Well, you know
That's
what?
a fluke.
Tapeworm.
That's a fluke.
That's
Yeah.
a tapeworm.
Well, I didn't mean it's a mistake.
disgusting.
It's a fluke worm.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
horrible. Thank you, and
Oh, it's horrible.
You're gonna send him to Lindy Mindy, and you know it.
I'm sending them to someone.
Then
That's
why
my
are we
fucking chair.
unwrapping them? You just have to wrap them again.
Thank you very much for the worms.
You know, in other places, this would be considered biological warfare.
Yeah.
Like if you sent this
At
to
Johnny Carson's house.
if you sent this to the president, there'd be somebody knocking at your door.
All right, we'll be right back with this. I gotta piss, and then we're gonna get into Brian Hennigan's travails.
Yeah. That means troubles.
Hey, people, when you're finished jacking off to Chad Shank's voice and you go, there's got to be something even more hardcore, try RedTube, not to be confused with Redbox, who I just excoriated on my last podcast, or this podcast. I don't know when this goes in. So go to RedTube and type in your favorite fetish, and once you're done beating off to all of that, find they're all connected. Pornhub, HubTube, I don't know. PornTube, YouPorn.
Once I switched from YouPorn to RedTube, it was no going back.
Yeah, that's true. I'm still a RedTube guy.
Big fan, big fan.
Big fan, big fan.
I didn't know.
Your world's about to change, sir.
I at one point, I don't know how you put videos up there. I think I was trying to.
Submit to the.
I was trying to get my fans to put my clips up under different fetish names, but I should have learned my lesson when I did Girls Gone Wild, and I thought it would be funny. You're just gonna make people really fucking hate you.
It seems like an anger thing.
A crank fueled pound session, and then there's you doing a fisting joke. You like fisting? Here's a bit. No, don't do that. Anyway, RedTube. Watch RedTube, and they have new videos daily. But a lot of times I find myself beating off to that same old favorite. The classics. You go, I'm going to jerk off to, I remember that.
The red badge
Humiliation
of courage.
hand job lady. Yeah, I'm going to come back to you. And no, I could never satisfy you with that dick that small. Thanks for the cock ring. RedTube, brought to you by the Doug Stanhope Podcast.
Not affiliated with the color red or tubes.
Or Redbox.
Okay.
Hey, Bingo, shut that screen. These fucking bugs are relentless.
These bugs are relentless.
All right, so to finish up what I was talking about, because I actually poking at it as I do all the time. My hernia is getting closer and closer. The surgery that I'm gonna get, I want to plug her name, but this is no insurance. This is cash hernia operation, and I don't know that she's an accredited doctor, but she did my last one.
That's
I
a
don't know
great
what-
fucking website. We should get that cashherniaoperation.com. That'd be a fucking winner.
So, yeah, I'll wait till we have her permission. She's doing back alley hernias. I don't know what I'm getting into, but she did my last one. That's fine.
Did you meet her at a bar to do the hernia operation? Or
I met her through friends.
how does anyone meet anyone these days?
Yeah, it was a you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours kind of situation. I never, even when I had insurance back when I did the television, I wouldn't know how to use it. That's why with this Seeso, I'm like, you pitch it, Brian, because I don't know how to. Chaille does all that stuff for me. I don't know what a streaming platform is. So this is a streaming platform of hernia surgery.
And you are the streaming platform.
Yeah, but she's quite cute, and I don't know quite how to. I don't want to manscape too much.
Like you meant to. It should be like a regular thing, like maintenance.
I don't want to look too needy
or eager.
Eager. That's what I was looking.
Are you
for.
going to dye it?
What color is it now? Thank you.
Ow.
Yeah, there's no squats to do to get rid of a
At the same
inguinal
time,
lump.
also you don't want to have you don't want to make it too jocular. You don't want your surgeon laughing.
Yeah, well, she's Asian. I don't think they laugh.
Uh-huh.
I don't think they're capable.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a
Well, they fake it.
it's like
They
an
giggle.
alien autopsy.
They giggle.
They're gonna probe you, and then remove.
And
this thing.
what is this particular hernia surgery? This is more serious than the last one.
Well, it's closer to your dick, and that's when that dude,
You mean the center of the universe?
the dude that remember we did the hernia test. I think it was Nashville, somewhere.
No, it was
Louisville,
St. Louis. It was at
St.
that.
Louis.
Yeah, it was a.
that
it was the community
dirty
center.
barrio. Yeah, well, I had just found my ventral hernia, which I'm not getting fixed. It doesn't. That's where your abdominal muscles separate. So if I do a sit up, it looks like alien is coming out between my abdominal muscles.
Like
but
you
I'm
ate
not
a
gonna do
hoagie in one
sit-ups
bite.
in fucking 9 years.
There's like a hoagie in one bite. Yeah, like you swallowed it like a python.
Yeah, but so he checked both of them across the merch booth. I just went shirtless and pulled my pants down a bit, and he checked it at the merch booth. And he wants, he goes, the inguinal I'd fix because the closer to your dick. And then since then, we've heard stories about, someone's guts falling all into their ball sack.
That walked me last night. You guys were talking last night. I had to leave.
Chaille was walked from a conversation.
Yeah, Chili's an easy puker.
That's yeah.
So yeah, it keeps getting closer and closer to my ball sack, and I just keep picturing all my guts falling into my ball sack from my lack of activity.
And not in a funny way.
Oh, imagine the 10 minutes I'd get out of that. So let's move on and wrap this up, because this was supposed to be about you, Brian Hennigan.
No, not really.
It really was.
This was supposed to be People's Court.
Exactly.
Well, no, Brian. Well, we had to promote the Seeso thing.
Oh, that's true. We did.
That was our big announcement
That's our big announcement.
that we knew was coming for a long time. So we're not as enthused as you should be out there. Get that Seeso, people. That's
true.
right. All your favorite shows in a streaming platform.
Yeah, right now we're kind of like, yeah, we landed on the moon.
Yeah.
I ordered. Well, I subscribed to Seeso when you told me that this was going to happen. I didn't know what was going to happen. Like the announcement was going to happen this week, so I figured, we'll check it out, and I fucking loved it. And for you to be on there, that's great. And then you said a couple months later you'll have available on a DVD as well.
But we couldn't say shit. Well, it's not done yet, and
And then there's
fucking
things.
Hollywood is so fucked up.
Yeah.
Just, we want to capitalize on the momentum of the. Shut up with the fucking marketing. Well, they have to do that because it works, or they wouldn't do it. But yeah, I had to sit here and shut my mouth. When's the special coming out? I don't know. I do know, but I can't say it until I'm drinking, and then Chaille edits it out of the podcast. So yeah, September 15th, Seeso. Brian Hennigan, not only a gypsy manager.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay, keep going.
Not only a tightwad, a miserable, hard to deal with.
That's what gypsy means?
No, I'm carrying on with all my descriptions.
He's
of
bobbing
him.
and scatting.
Yeah, you're also back to doing some stand-up comedy.
That's right,
on the
I
side.
did. Yes, I
You.
did.
That's one thing I do appreciate about Brian is he did do stand-up comedy on some level, unlike any other fucking manager.
Unlike most
looking
managers.
for one?
Well, I'm
sure there is.
I'm figured there's a
agents, managers, whatever.
Yeah.
He understands what failure feels like.
standing up in front of a microphone pointed at you is it's intimidating.
you do understand things like I can't see anything from the stage and things like that, and what does it sound like?
I can hear my voice. How do we turn that off? Yeah.
So
Yeah, but we got a good door deal. No, but it's a shitty venue. He understands.
Sure.
Shitty. It doesn't seem to
Doesn't deter
bother
him.
no, I understand. I don't care, but I understand.
I focus on the things that are important.
I got to the point where I'd say I was a decent middle act, as we call it in the UK, which is what we should call it here, because everyone understands what a middle act is. It's the guy or girl in the middle.
Well, there's
kind of in the name.
It's not the feature, though.
Here's for
right.
the listener.
Yeah.
The nomenclature in the business is the middle act here is called the feature act. Where you don't know the fucking a feature act, that sounds like the main act.
Exactly.
Until you say headliner and they go, oh, I guess I don't know what feature means then.
In a movie, featuring is the star.
All right, every comic out there, never use the word feature act again, ever. Let's start from here. Say middle act. That makes it easy for the people coming to the show.
Correct the booker.
Right.
You'll be the feature. I'm sorry, what? Who? Yeah.
Well, the other thing in the UK is that the opening act is the better act than the middle act. Because somewhere in comedy they decided we have to have 3 people and the first guy is going to suck more than the...
The major thing in the UK that's different is that the host or the MC or the compere is often the best person on the stage.
The same way David Letterman, whatever. I have to go back that far to find a funny late night
And there's a
talk
good
show
and
host.
there's a great reason for that, which is they're the person, if you think about it, particularly on a Friday or Saturday night, who has to guarantee laughs because they're going to be coming on after every failure.
In a hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here, when you see, I mean, I've fucking MC'd here, and I should never have done that because I don't have the strength.
People hate you.
I know.
I've had you on my shows just to set up the show, and they fucking hate you.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know.
he's never gotten actual email of hate. That's reserved for
Oh,
Chaille.
yes, he has.
No, yeah, I have from Julie Seaball. That was during the marriage.
You know who does that setup of having a more experienced host is Chili Dog at Laughs, which I'm bringing this up because Laughs just moved from Kirkland, Washington, across the water to Seattle. He's in the University District.
Good.
It's still Laughs. It's the old Giggles with
Oh, no
Terry
shit.
Taylor. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Fucking
Yeah.
go to Laughs in Seattle. I'll come there eventually. This is what I'm doing. I'm comparing. I'm hosting.
Yeah.
All the gigs, and we are setting up some road gigs, some more, because that worked out so well, that last thing, where I'm going to do as much time, but I'm going to host, I'm going to middle, I'm going to MC, compare, and then I'll do some time at the end if it's
Jug
warranted.
is going to start. He will be the first person on stage.
Yep.
And that is
And
why
I'll be the
you
last
absolutely
person.
need to be there when the show starts. Don't fucking walk in 45 minutes later and go, wait, how long has he been on? Well, you're missing it.
Can I read you the message of hatred?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You
Wait,
never
set
read
this
this
up.
to me.
I
You
don't- I've
told
never
me
heard
about
this.
this.
No. So, I post things on Instagram. I like Instagram. And the last thing, or the second last thing I posted, you keep talking for a minute while I just find this, if you don't mind.
Yeah, well, Brian's on his way to Burning Man. Brian, the guy that does no drugs whatsoever. Mm-hmm. It's a fucking business guy.
All right,
He's
here we
go.
That's enough.
He's an English suit.
Here we go. So I just posted some. It was a little thing of my flight taking off. A little film. It was my flight taking off from LA, going through the turnoff of the I-10 through Fort Huachuca. A little thing of Henry turning in a circle, Ichabod, asleep on the roof, and that was it. And then I get this message. Totally disgusted, guys. I've been to 4 shows in Colorado for Doug, including the roof cave-in at the Oriental Theater in North Denver for my birthday years ago. I grew up in Colorado Springs, though, and visited Jeff Valdez's Comedy Corner 7 to 8 times a year with a dozen realtors from my office. I think it was a really shitty thing to do for the podcast to practically promise that it was just Doug introducing acts and we are to expect nothing from Doug doing time. I was ready to buy 20 tickets till I heard that. Then I hear the aftermath of Roseanne fucking Bar doing a set and the other unrecognizable acts just killing. Please understand the weight of your words on the podcast. I would have been over the top if I was there.
That's someone bitching that we undersold how good. Well, yeah, I thought people were going to bitch that I didn't do a fucking hour in a row at the end because of that structured stand-up comedy mentality. Well, there'll be two guys that we don't want to see, and then we'll get there late.
How dare you put a show together that's not
great.
only has complete value, but eclipses what even the minimum fan of the podcast would even expect of you. Fucking how dare you?
So I said to him, please give me the exact phrasing we should have used. and then there's somebody, there's two comments that matter. One, somebody said, "You're lucky someone is even acknowledging the fact that you're a cunt."
And that person didn't call her a cunt.
And then somebody else did a parody of what he'd written. Somebody whose operating name is Jizzy Dizzy, and who lives in Los Angeles, and he has his own website.
You mean JD?
No, Jizzy Dizzy.
Okay, got it.
No, this guy's really funny. So, this guy wrote, "Totally disgusted that I skipped a Prince show last year he came to town. Found out later he played an amazing 3-hour set, and then months later he died. I was informed none of these things would be happening. Just disgusted."
JD?
JD.
Yeah.
What do you want me to say? It's going to be the fucking... If I told you on the podcast, listen, I have material that is threadbare in its infancy at best.
Can't fill a sheet of paper.
It's going to be the best night of your life.
Or even if you'd said at the end of
Fucking Noah, you think
Exactly.
I know fucking Roseanne Bar is going to be there?
I know.
And guess what? It was sold out anyway. So
Yeah.
your realtor friends wouldn't have... I brought fucking...
Hey, fuck off for not supporting the local comedy.
I brought 20 of my realtor friends to Jeff Valdez's club that has been closed for 25 years.
wait. He's up. I sounded a bit like Chili there when I said wait.
Don't ever fucking eat on my podcast, you fucking cunt. It's
He just ate the worms.
waiting for the worms.
That's a euphemism. He works in or with realtors. I think he understands the idea of tricking people with fucking words.
Yeah.
You fucking lying, scheming
Good
cunt.
point, good
How
point.
dare you call other people out on the use of language when your entire business is built on misrepresentation and taking things from people when you've missold them? Go fuck yourself.
That's my manager, Brian.
Oh, and
hey,
they-
if you want to book me, you go through Brian.
Oh, and thanks for listening to the podcast.
It's fucking amazing we're in business. Such a beautiful commune.
It's amazing that yet could really be seen as a very complimentary letter.
I know.
I mean, if you take the vitriol out of it at the end, it is really like, I listen to everything you say. I will do what you say to do, and yet I feel like I got fucked in the end. But other
the
than
woods
that,
are
last
long,
part-
dark, and deep, and I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep.
Yeah, I mean, really.
Anyone who gets that reference, I fucking love you on Twitter.
Again, it's just insulting as well. Like, oh, so you think Doug's bringing out acts who are shit? Like shit?
But they said acts that ended up being like super good.
Yeah.
I
How
mean,
dare you lead me down this path of...
I thought you were coming to town with a genuinely shit show.
we all had that discussion separately. I had one with Henigan, and Doug and I had the discussion of like how do we let people know that Doug is working on new material. This was a thing it was vexing on how to explain it so that people don't think you're doing like an hour straight every night. I did the numbers. You were doing at least 48 to 57 minutes, cumulative over the night,
and then
sometimes
fucking
we had,
around with the other comics. Yeah, that was great.
Chris Fairbanks, we had Lucas Seeley, we had Roseanne Bar. I mean, we had other people that would jump on as well, and that all added to the show. The no show was under an hour and 58 minutes. I mean,
yeah,
give me a fucking break.
We went long a lot.
Yeah.
But we had a fucking blast.
Yeah.
And I like that template. I like the freedom to go, you know what? First of all, comedy is not 3 acts with an opener doing 15 and a middle act doing 25.
That cartoon thing of like the industrial, like stamping it out. It is freeform.
Yeah.
But I realized tonight that I dictate the rules of my business. I used to do a bit about that. I think it was about having notes. One time I had notes. And
Yeah.
I go, people think it's unprofessional. I'm the only guy that does my profession. I get to dictate the rules.
Yes.
If I want to go up first and in the middle and then at the end, it's my fucking show.
Yes.
And we ended up having fun. I was very worried that people...
And again, I fucking monitor social media like a fucking, the last German in the bunker. And that is the only fucking complaint and it was like 3 weeks or more than that after the fucking tour was over. Nobody.
Yeah.
What?
I agree. They measured their words. They really pissed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they waited till I posted a fucking picture of Ichabod and Henry. And then like, oh, now's my time to pounce. He's bringing the pets into it.
Unbelievable.
You bring up a good point, Doug, in that you are really, you can dictate what you're doing, and it's hard to get out of that mentality. And Brendan Walsh, a friend of ours, a comic, he has the Bone Zone, and I was talking to him. I've known him for years. I met him through you.
Name dropper.
Who? And I was talking to him about the podcast, and I was like questioning on whether we were doing certain things right. And he goes, Chaille, what the fuck's the problem? Is sound coming out of the other end? And I go, well, yeah. He goes, so what the fuck? What's your fucking problem? Just you're doing it. You don't have to overthink it. You just do it. And like the business that I've started here in Bisbee, off of the merchandise and stuff like that, I get to fucking make the rules. And it's the same with you. You don't get fucking crazy with it, but coming up with this idea, it was a long time.
I don't want to suck.
But it was a long time.
Nor do I want to sell something that sucks. So
figuring out that format was over a year of like figuring out how and when to do it. And when you finally decided to do it, it seemed like it was kind of
occasionally
from the
you have someone that bitches about the ticket price. And then you go, all right, here's your go-to. Hey, comics, if you're listening, here's your go-to. This is what, and name 10 shitty comics you can find that are charging fucking $100 a ticket or $80 a ticket. I go, any questions? I've never had someone.
Yeah. And then another thing that it's a slight thing that pisses me off, but it's the opposite way. We never ever get thanked for using brown paper tickets. Nobody ever says to us, thanks for not having a $10 service fee.
Fucking Ticketmaster.
Fuck you for your 99 cents plus 3%.
Yeah.
There's times we have to use Ticketmaster.
Occasionally.
And it's dirty. I bleed out of my ass in a shower, crying like leaving Las Vegas. Elizabeth Shue after she was raped, and she's bleeding from the ass in the shower. That's how I feel when I have to use Ticketmaster. So we try to avoid that at all costs.
That's a handful of times. I don't even remember.
Fucking, I think Boston. I think
Yeah.
is
Boston, again, you actually get a very good example because we have brown paper tickets in the theater and you can actually see the service fee comparison.
Hey, you know what? When we have to use Ticketmaster, can we put up a brown paper tickets logo?
That's what we did in the UK, remember?
We
know these mics are on.
Remember that?
Maybe you shouldn't be talking
No,
about
this is a great idea.
No, we did that in the remember?
Anytime you're forced to use that fucking piece of shit.
Because the venue is assigned to. Yeah.
I'm sure there's no rule that can't say, "Hey, if we could have used brown paper tickets, you'd have saved this much.
I
You'd
see,
be this
yeah.
much
No,
drunker, whatever."
we definitely did that in the UK tour before the bad one.
Well,
Everyone remembers the bad one.
doesn't
On this
Ticketmaster
side of
they
this
secure
mic.
the venue, and so they have a venue that they have a relationship with, so you can't even be there unless
Correct.
you use them.
I mean,
So-
it's a very. Their Ticketmaster's model is one of those things which I hate to say it, but I admire because it's evil and smart. You buy out.
Brian's huge on evil.
Yes,
This is why the libertarians can't get elected.
because they're not.
No, because they're openly evil. Fuck them. Fuck them.
I think
Not all of them.
Nah,
Not Gary Johnson.
no, the libertarians their issue is just sheer organization. They're not.
All right, let's get back
Yeah,
to
yeah,
you.
get
Let's
back
get
on
back
track.
to your stand-up comedy.
Yes, that's right. So let's go. So I was lucky enough to be in the nice bar that's tended by Kerry Mitchell at the Comedy Store, and Brian Redban is there.
Brian Henigan does a lot of things that you find out after the fact. He's a very secretive, filthy, uncut.
surreptitiously working behind the scenes, kind of.
Well, you can't
does
be,
weird
you can't
shit.
be surreptitious and not be working behind the
That's
scenes.
true.
You
You're right.
you go to his apartment and you
Agreed.
find a playbill where he did a Shakespeare play. I'm like, what the fuck? You did a Shakespeare play? I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, let me tidy up. That's not.
Let me tidy
The gal
up.
wasn't in today. It's like he's hiding a porno mag.
He does all
Oh,
this
nothing.
weird shit behind your back, and you have to find out about it. Do you know that Hennigan just did a set at the fucking Pasadena, the
Ice House?
Laugh
Ice House. Oh, I heard about that one. That first one.
The first one was apocalyptic.
And how long was it between the last time you had done stand up to then?
Probably in my own right probably 9 or 10 years.
Wow.
And people tell you never forget how to ride a bike. I can assure you can. You're on stage. I know what you're like when after I'm not in comedy for 6 months. You're standing there and your head says, "Oh, I know what I should be doing," and your mouth is doing none of it.
Absolutely. Fucking 3 weeks.
Yeah.
2 days sometimes on the road.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, what was the shit I was working on?
The audience had a look on their face like they were watching. It's like they'd been told they're about to watch a blooper reel on YouTube, and there was no bloopers. It was just somebody, making coffee. So it wasn't like anger. It was just utter bemusement at what was happening. And I was also sandwiched between two fairly decent comedians. I think Brian Moses was on before me, who's a kind of hot shot who runs the roast battle, and I was followed by Tony Hinchcliffe. So I probably look like a parody act at best. But then,
And you knew it too.
Two
Oh,
veteran
yeah.
LA comics.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I knew it. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But the good thing is that Brian Redban's lovely girlfriend Janice, who's not Scottish, but that's a Scottish name, was in the room, and she said, "I really liked it," and so he brought me back 2 weeks later, and it was
Which is when that's when you have that. When I do 2 shows a night, if I ate shit on the first show, I'm coming back with a vengeance.
Yeah, so-
when you have that, nothing motivates you more than sucking.
Well, I mean that's the key. You have to keep doing it.
so.
Did you go up in between that at all?
Did I do what?
Did you go up in between?
No, because the only places to go up in LA are rooms where you're playing to comedians,
yeah,
and there's no point. I can just go downstairs and talk to Brett Erickson. It's better,
yeah.
And that was a definite redemption gig. It was fantastic. I loved
Good.
it. And then I got to do the Brian Redban. Brian Redban is in the history of Doug Stanhope an unremarked figure. He was like I hesitate to say pre-Chaille, but he was like a
Yeah, no, he
No,
was what, webmaster.
I was here when he helped out with the forum. I was doing
Yeah.
Doug's website, and he offered when he first came to LA. He had just left the Midwest, and he helped us when the forum went down a couple times from people hacking it.
Well, there was the Dimebag Daryl incident where the guy that was running it was a fan of Dimebag Daryl. It was one of my favorite updates ever. And but the guy that was running my forum on my website was at the show or something where Dimebag Daryl got killed, and is a huge fan, and he dumped the forum for a minute
Because of Dimebag?
because I wrote this
because you wrote
update,
something. Okay.
and it was I don't know, a satire or whatever. It was the band trying to get paid after the show, but you only did 2 songs. but
Listen, guys,
but
what
they
am I
killed
supposed to do?
they killed our lead singer or whatever he was, the guitarist.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, you were hired to do 2 sets, and you only did. I can't.
You have to play 4.
So I just wrote this whole
contractually.
imaginary argument of the band still trying to get paid after the show, and he took it all. It was shitting on fucking club owners being cheap,
Yeah.
but he reactionary.
Who?
I don't know, some dude.
The
that
guy running
I
the
didn't-
board.
I don't know what a forum is.
Was it
Come on.
PFE? Was it Pure Fucking Evil?
Or Jesus Loves Doug Stanhope?
Yeah,
Jesus-
pure
yeah.
fucking evil.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
pure fucking evil.
Ah, the good old days.
I don't know. There was some dude that was friends of Redban. They were all this Columbus unit out there. I've gotten nothing but fucked in Columbus.
Columbus, Missouri.
No, that's
Ohio.
Columbia.
Oh, sorry.
Didn't they give you some citizen?
Jesus Christ, what did you have to
Hey,
do?
hey, stop challenging me on that.
Well,
All right,
the
Brian,
test really isn't
hey,
over.
what are you looking forward to in wrapping up? What are you looking forward to in at Burning Man this year? Dressing like a normal dude and not doing drugs.
A tie and
Yeah,
loafers?
I liked it. Funny enough, I actually picked up a pair of loafers at the thrift store this
Cole
afternoon.
Haan? Some Cole Haans?
No, they're not cool hands.
Bush?
There was no, but going back to, okay, I can't talk about it. It's not out. But
Yeah, what can we talk about?
in the
Am I
sense
writing
that-
a second book
what,
or
what,
not?
What I would tell you is that clearly somebody in Bisbee with size 9.5 shoes has died recently because there was a whole array of things I could have bought, and I had to,
Penny Lane?
no the real thrift store with the 2 evil twins.
What?
You know, there's
The Penny Lane and the
this-
your thrift
our-
store.
Your thrift store.
Oh, your thrift store, the junk store.
Yeah. So
The windows are
dog
open.
barking
No,
is
But
great.
the windows are open,
Come
so it
on.
doesn't matter. I thought maybe that might help.
well, why don't we just call?
Anyway,
all right.
you're going to Burning Man.
Yeah,
We
I'm-
wish you luck.
Thank
We're
you.
going to Vegas.
Yeah, I won't be there for the gig, but I mean, I had to book Burning Man years ago.
I just found out that both of the guys that I do a podcast with, Matt Becker and John Norris, are flying out to Vegas.
Oh no shit!
Yeah.
I thought Becky's not coming.
Becky's coming too, but John Norris, and we do a podcast called Near the Wild Alaska. And
All right,
Becker's,
good because I have something on my back for her to pick.
she'll be there, but she's only showing up for the turkey dinner across the street.
All right, there's gonna be a lot of fucking weird podcasts to come from this weekend.
Eat
with
first,
James Inman, Brendan Walsh, the Beckers,
Mamu.
Christine Levine. It goes on and on. Brooks
Andy
Brown.
Andrist, is he coming?
Andy's coming.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, it is. It's gonna.
I do regret not being there to needle Inman.
It will be good.
Yeah.
We'll
Don't
do
worry,
the
there's-
needling.
There's plenty of people to cover your spot. All right, that's a podcast, and we're out.
Party time. Party time. Party time. Party time. Drink your drinks and eat your eats. It's party time. Laugh your laughs and heat your heats. It's party time. Smile your smiles and blue your blues. It's party time. Yeah. Dance your dance and shoe your shoes. It's party time. party time, party time, party time, party time, party time, party time, party time. Hey! Party time, yeah! Party time.
We're all coasting